So drink. Drink coffee. It's a little smoke, this color with a little smoke, because the farmers are preparing the land for cultivating many products. Especially in the jungle, the cloud forest, people cut the trees for making their farm, and then in 2 weeks or maybe 1 month, they begin to burn all these dry trees. That's the effect of the smoke that are living from the tropical valleys. In May, June, July, August, the sky clears, the blue color. This is the main square, the Plaza de Armas of Cusco. This was the Incan Plaza. This plaza was bigger. From here to the other plaza, almost 200 meters wide, large. This plaza was divided into 2 sectors, okay, by those colonial constructions. There's a Plaza de Armas, and the other plaza is called Plaza Regocijo or Cusipata. Cusi means happy, the happiness, the place of happiness. Cusipata, okay, close, the pata they were together. And then around this main square there were the palaces of the kings. Okay, we had 14 kings. The last Inca were Huasca and Atahualpa. Each Inca had to build their own palaces because they didn't receive the palace of their ancestors, like a heritage. No, they have to build their own palace. All these palaces were destroyed by the Spanish. And these ancient and the temples, the altars, raised in honor to the Andean deities, were destroyed by the Spanish. In these ancient sacred places were built many Catholic churches. Talking about the Andean religion. The Andean religious ecologist. Okay, when we are doing our ceremonies, okay, with our group of tourists, they are not spiritual people because they don't have, some of them don't have the knowledge of the spiritual work. Sometimes because they are working in the cities, because they are not in contact with the nature. They don't know. What I explained it, okay? The Andean religious ecologist. Nope. On the top of the mountains appears the Catholic cross. Okay. In that time, the Andean people worshipped to the Andean deities, and then they were worshipped to the spirit of the mountains that were living on the top of those mountains. And the Catholic priests observed to the native people that were worshipping to the mountains, to the rivers, and they were worshipping to that mountain, living their greetings. And the Catholic priests had thought, these native people are worshipping to the demons, so they put those Catholic crosses. Okay, behind of that hill is the archaeological group of Sacsayhuama. Can you pronounce Sacsayhuama? No sexy woman. Okay. Sometimes women walk, we walk. There's a trail that goes to that place. There's a shortcut. We may do it in our way. Only maybe 1 hour. If you ask to the local people, how far is from here to Sacsayhuama? They may say, look, it's just around the corner. How many hours? They may say you almost a half hour for half hour. And then the slope of those mountains are building more houses. The city growing more. That may happen in the moment. This is a gift of God. started when there was a big earthquake in the north of Peru, in Chile, Ecuador, and Japan. At noon, just at noon, we are having lunch with Gabriel and his mother-in-law. We are having lunch. At any moment, I felt okay, movement in my body. I was sat on the chair. I was feeling the earth was shaking for me. But I've told them, at any moment, maybe this evening or tomorrow, it will be a tale of earthquake. Many earthquakes. They told me, where? I don't know, but we are going to have an earthquake. That happened last night. I watched it on the TV in the north of Peru, Ecuador, Chile, and Japan. How can I feel this? At any moment when we are talking, at any moment we may lose our consciousness faster, or may check our body at any moment. That's that means it will be an earthquake. It's incredible, but I made experiments also 4 times about the earthquakes. The image of the size of this stone were transported maybe by 2 people or 3 people. But they have to transport the current a short distance. Porque they use they have the 2 small pieces of long wood. They put them small. Yeah. They type and then they put the stones and then was.
So, use the sled.
Sled. Okay, what the transporter comes the short distance, like ants. Then the short distance. Another group, then they pass at this group and then the other group they transport. But the distance is about 30 kilometers.
Yeah.
But they cut this stone. This is stones. Okay, before working this stones, they just have to do an offering dedicated to the spirit of the rock, asking for its permission and protection. They burn this offering at the bottom of the rock. After that, they began to cut the stones following the fissures. But here it's not clear, but in section 1 here, some of the fissures, how they cut the stones. They cut the stones with chisel and hammers that were made in bronze. They didn't use tools made in iron. They cut the stones following the fissures. The rock was cut, worked and polished with stone scrapers. They used the hardened stones, the meteorite rock, the hematite. Yeah, and that's the strongest stones. Okay, let's see before coming the tourists. The Bitcoin is the white animal that lives in the highlands that produce the substance, the silkiest wool of the world. Made in gold plate. That's another version. In the morning, Saxaroma is almost empty, but at noon, in the afternoon, hundreds of thousands of people visit Saxaroma. Now it's the travel agencies. Now many cars for different activities. For the vendors of the artisans, the workers, for the porters of the Inca Trail, for the travel agencies, transport, the hotels, restaurants. Okay, you give us the opportunity for working different activity. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, let's see the Sacsay woman. Sacsay woman. Sacsay woman is a Quechua word. Sacsay means satisfy yourself. Okay. Woman is a small eagle. Castor. That means satisfy yourself, castor. Sacsay. Sacsay. Okay, be satisfied. When you are eating the food, okay, we say you be satisfied. You have to eat a lot of food, okay? You have to satisfy your stomach. Sacsay. Sacsay is a Sacsay woman.
Somebody's having a party.
It's okay in South America, North America. Here, for example, in South America, the Indian people have good development, okay, in the religious aspect. That Mayan calendar. Okay, and then I've told you, okay, all this the elements have their spirit. Their spirit. We call Apu. Apu is the Andean angel. I've told you the Andean deities were replaced with the Christian saints. The sun god was replaced by a white man. Pachamama, the Mother Earth, was replaced with Virgin Mary. The Apus, the spirit of the mountains, were replaced with angels. The Andeans, Apus, the Andeans, angels have adopted the Christian names because they bring the syncretism. Okay? There were not like they accept.
La idea y la religión.
The material, the idea, and the religion.
El aire,
The air,
agua,
water,
fuego,
fire,
madre, tierra y comida.
mother, to the Mother Earth, and the food.
Y si no los 7, tenemos los 7 niveles.
We
El
have the
sexo,
7
el
levels.
ombligo, el plexo solar,
There's the from here, the navel, the
El corazón.
solar plexus,
el plexo solar, el corazón,
The
la
heart.
yugular,
the jugular,
el tercer ojo y la
the
corola.
third eye. Okay.
¿Sí? Entonces, el lugar tiene mucha energía, mucha vibración.
That place has many energy, more vibration.
Ahora vamos a ver cómo los incas rompieron la piedra.
How did the Incas have broken these stones?
Acá tenemos la
The,
hematita.
the meteorite rock, the hematite, the harder rock.
Esta es la hembra y este es el macho.
That's the male and the female.
Ahora, esta no tiene magnetita.
This stone doesn't have the magnet.
No, este tiene magnetita.
This has the magnet. This doesn't have the magnet.
Es mujer y varón.
The female and the male. The duality.
Ahí está.
Los caras como esto. The magnet.
Ahí está. ¿Sí? Ahora este es el limestone.
The limestone.
Mira.
Easy.
El trabajo.
That's the work. Yeah, easy.
No el extraterrestre.
No, the extraterrestrial work.
Mucho tiempo.
More time for the politics.
Mucho amor para el trabajo.
More love. Yes.
Y mucha comida.
And more food.
Tiempo largo.
Satisfies yourself with a long time.
Mucho tiempo el trabajo.
Because they've taken.
Mira. ¿Cómo se siente la vibración?
How do they feel the vibration?
Ahí está. ¿Ve? Acá igual. Vamos a ver. ¿Ve? Acá. ¿Ve? Ahí está.
Different ways. Huh?
Y cada uno de nosotros tenemos las vibraciones.
Each one of us, we have our magnetism, our vibration.
Ahí tiene el cuarzo, ese cuarzo hay que activar.
You have your quartz, okay.
Eso hay que activar.
No, ya lo dices. Habla, explícame
Ya.
más todo eso.
Ya, acá.
Explícame ya, concreto todo y después ya me voy
Ya.
por todo.
Ahí
Okay,
está.
here.
Acá mismo sale el sí.
Let's prove it with the magnetism.
Ahí está la energía. Este lugar es más importante que Machu Picchu.
This place is more important than the Machu Picchu.
Acá vivía el Inca.
And here to live the Inca, the king.
En Machu Picchu vivía el representante del
In
Inca.
Machu Picchu lived the political authority, like the governor.
Entonces acá vivían los sumos sacerdotes
In this
y
place lived the
sacerdotisas.
high priest, the William Huma, the talking head.
Y también los sabios y sabias.
And here today live the wise woman, the wise man. They have the more wisdom.
Can I ask a question? Was there a site for the Inca here? Was there a sacred site
Yeah.
before Inca
Uh,
here?
Because this place, I've told you, when I appeared the earthquake, it was on 1350, there was a big earthquake, the temple of the sun suffered the effect of the earthquake, and the Inca Pachak with that they found order to build another temple of the sun here. Y pregunta dice que antes de construir este Sacsayhuamán fue un lugar sagrado.
Sí, de las culturas pre-incas.
That was
Pre-Inca,
another
yeah.
sacred place of the
Es una
pre-Inca culture.
secuencia, es una cronología de tiempo y espacio.
That's another chronology about the time and the space.
Yeah.
El amor,
The love,
la sabiduría,
the knowledge, the wisdom,
el trabajo.
the work.
Tres formas de trabajo que hemos
We have the three kinds of works. Aini, Minka,
Mita.
Mita. That is the kinds of works.
Hoy por ti, mañana por mí, uno para
Tomorrow,
todos,
today
todos
for
para
me, tomorrow for you. We call this Aini.
no have money.
No.
The one at the top? Yeah. Just quickly look. We're gonna see it.
Hello, I'm here. Yep. Just to prove that I am here.
Trabajo,
When we have a work, there is a work.
y si hay trabajo, hay amor.
Where there is a work, there is a love. It's true or not? When we are not having a good work, we are desperate. But when we are having a good work, or we are very happy, we produce the love.
Vamos allá.
Okay.
Thank you.
Cosmos.
Cosmos, life force, Mother Earth. There's a wee bit past that line.
Space is three levels, okay? The Mother Earth, the love, and the
Madre Tierra,
Mother Earth,
vida actual,
the actual life,
el cosmos.
the cosmos.
Y acá el Intihuatán, ahí está la ubicación del norte, el sur en el compás.
This is the we may say like a pyramid. This is like the astronomical observatory. We call Intihuatana. Intihuatana means where the hitching post of the sun, or where the sun is tied up. The Intihuatana. Look, it's pointed to the north, south, east, and the west. To give the exact precision, this compass, the directions, the four regions. I was pointed to the north.
No, es el norte.
North is the north, south, east, west. So what's pointed? Huh?
Y las esquinas que están ubicadas, las constelaciones.
That's the corners, and these corners are located the constellations that exist on the Milky Way. That's the four corners.
O sea, son las constelaciones que están en la Vía Láctea, ¿no?
So that's either the constellations that appear along the Milky Way.
El Machu Picchu es más grande, ¿no?
In Machu Picchu, the astronomical observatory is as big as like a pyramid. Intihuatana, hitching post of the sun, or where the sun is tied up. Inti. Huatana name means the year. Huatana is where it's tied up. Muy bien, Paco.
Vamos a entrar al túnel a la...
Okay, lift your hand.
Any hand.
Put on your head, please, when we are crossing the tunnel.
We're going to the centre of the earth.
Have problems, okay, be careful. Put your hand on the left side, the left side. Then your left hand on the rock, and you get be careful with your head.
That's it. We're okay.
Right here, this is the viewpoint. Right here we may see the historic part of Cusco, the colonial part of Cusco. Over there, this is the historic part of Cusco, the old Cusco, because the houses are made with adobes, the roofs are covered with red tiles. And that's the main square. We'll be there, the main square. That main square, that was the plaza of the Incas. That plaza was bigger. The other plaza over there, where appeared the white building. Up to that place was the plaza of the Incas. That sector is called Cusipata, the happy plaza, the happiness place. Okay, that's over there's the cathedral, the Jesuit Company Church over there. To the south appear the white condors flying. To the south appear the snow peak, it's the highest mountain in department of Cusco is at 6,372 meters above sea level. The second highest mountain is located behind Machu Picchu. That mountain is called South.
I don't. Okay.
The water flows through the channel. The water comes out of the wall of that wall. That's a rock. But there's another name that is mentioned by the archaeologists. The original name of this place was called Kakapugyu. Kaka. No, you have to pronounce well. Kaka. If you pronounce kaka, shit. Kaka. Kaka means the boulder, the rock. Pugyu means the streams, the origin of the water. Because the water below that rock. The flowing. Kakapugyu is the original name. But the other historians put in this the new name, Tampu Mache. There was another temple dedicated to the spirit of the water. I explain you the Incas live in harmony with our nature. They to respect the nature. They didn't pollute the water. They didn't pollute the earth, the environment. For example, if they wanted to prepare the land they wanted to prepare the farm for cultivating so many products, they cut the trees and maybe in the tropical valleys. But the trees are dried maybe in 1 month. The trees are ready for the burning, but they have to protect that area in order to avoid the fire, the fire of the mountains. They have to prepare this land around this place, the forest. But they have to protect this area, like a dry fence. They clean this area in order to avoid the jump of the fire in this place. Sometimes people were uncareful. Sometimes they produce the fire. In this case, the local authorities research who has produced this fire, and then they punish to these people.
Yeah, how many?
So 2 or 3 legs.
1 or 2 or 3?
Pushing one set of you.
Thank you. See, I put 2 at home, and I bought them. I put them in a cupboard, telescopic lens. Yeah.
Make it cry. Be careful.
What did he say now?
Well, that's where they put the bodies.
Bodies?
The mummified, it goes back to the earth.
Ah, okay.
But when the Spanish came, the Spanish raided it all.
looking for the earrings and all the personal belongings that they were buried. But there's still other places that they haven't been damaged. We come from the earth and we go back to the earth.
Sí, observa ahí como no es otra cosa más que la
Pero esa amiga
Just adding them.
Okay, let's go, vamos. We have to carry some stones from here to the upper part. We have to help to our brothers that are restoring some roots. If you may carry these huge stone blocks, your sin will be forgiven.
Some of them will need a few stone blocks.
Don't worry.
Yes.
Nice to meet you, man.
Yes, that's
Among the for example, potatoes, corn, quinoa, kiwicha, majua, ocas, peanuts, watermelon, sweet potatoes, pumpkins, many products. Then, okay, come here. There is an opinion. The first part. The first species roca roca you find it. Pachacuta was that big tourist. Pachacuta was the great governor. Nearly the start.
As well, that's good.
your jumper.
No, it's just
Right, exactly.
They're making their something else. This is a good day to forget my battery.
Oh, did you forget it?
I left it charging.
Yeah.
You're supposed to go 4 times.
Right.
So some chambering coming up.
Here we go.
Please take me a picture, please.
Somebody take a picture. Oh, good. Here, Peter.
They keep the origin of the fireplace. So that's the four water cold. The fireplace is what we call
trees. We have erythrina. This is erythrina kind of trees. They grow in the Amazon too. We have 3 types of erythrinas: Erythrina falcao, Erythrina udelis, Erythrina ulei. So they are typical for this elevation. In this valley, we have a lot of cochinilla. You know cochinilla? Little beetles to make lipsticks. To dye the wool, the red, the pink, the orange, scarlet colors. Once I came here, I wanted to buy from local farmers to export. So it's expensive, huh? In times 1 kilogram of cochinilla it can be $80, 80 American dollars. So we buy here for, let's say, $20 and you resell in $80. But it was big competition. Capped mountains. The first one on the right, maybe with good luck later, tomorrow we can see all these mountains. And we call apples in the Andes apple. That's why the shaman, when they offer any coca leaves, they always say apple. Apple Everest, apple Aconcagua, apple Osaka. Apple in some ways that means spiritual name of this mountain. Behind of that mountain is Machu Picchu.
Right, this is our first day of the trek. 4 days, 3 nights. And there's our pack horses over there.
The shoulder of it tomorrow. Traditionally hiking, you can lift a small pebble in a way and energise what you're taking to the master of the mountain, to the Salkantai. So as you're walking along, do get a pebble and energise it with your prayers, what you're taking as a gift to the mountain. And then when we reach the shoulder, which will be sometime tomorrow, we could do a ceremony and place a rock sculpture there. So just on the way, but you don't have to lift a 10 kilo rock, just a little pebble. Yeah.
Hydration tablets and the water with me.
Hey guys.
Hooks the hole.
In the rainy season, this just
What do you think of the show so far?
Brilliant.
Brilliant. Liars. Smile, going to camera.
Jesus save me. With having like
No, I'll leave it because I'm gonna. You carry on. I'll ask someone else to put it back in. Thank you.
right, it's a nice picture. Camp's not that far.
They're all smart routes, just gotta put your mind to it. That looks a lot less steep.
It's alright, just cross down. Yeah, we're fine. Yeah.
So for spare route, because I'm thinking about it much, like, not renewing because I need a bit more flexibility than a year contract. Can you get like month to month?
Yeah, well, it depends. It depends on what they want.
It
depends on the advert. You can get like 3 months. If someone's saying going away for a month, going traveling for a month.
Yeah, you know, you can move these to help focus. So, yeah, just if it's not so good, you can change it. It's good, yeah?
How high up are we?
4,250 metres.
Great.
So it's only 400 metres to the top of the pass. She thought she could walk on water.
1, 2, 3.
Well, I made it up the hill, looking nice and brown. There's the seaweed.
Do it now.
God, it's cold.
Clouds coming up, the sun.
You head down before.
Yeah, I say
6 AM and we're ready to hike.
Yes, this is
I'm gonna get my bag. I don't want to get any. Oh.
It sounds like Paddington Bear.
Just this bit down.
Vamos unas tú adelante. Ya que...
We go chase everybody.
It doesn't look so bad, does it?
Más allá nomás va a dejarle y que el caballo y la chica va a seguir caminando.
That's the campsite down there. So we steps on there.
That's quite nice, isn't it?
It's alright.
It's alright.
It'll do.
Well, you can't beat the truss, etc.
We're looking down there at these wee Rosa huts. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Rosie.
Rosie who?
Rosa wee huts. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Mary.
Mary who?
Mary Eve and Mary Rosa wee huts. Knock, knock.
No.
Who's there?
Who's there?
Eve. Even Mary Day Rosa wee huts. That's it.
Enough already.
Give to your bag, yeah.
It's a fair swap for all the water. We keep flying the good stuff. The water's on the horizon. Jelly baby, jelly baby. Oh, hello. There's a photograph.
Watch out.
Hello, beauties. Good morning.
Any of the chums want a jelly baby? Robert, Renee, jelly babies?
Cioè, signora che come dalle ampie che spiega, andiamo a vecchia
Robert, get in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still in charge of the
Banana, that would get as much action cover so quickly.
Yeah, it really helps. I have to really remember to feed myself to do things.
Condo again.
Do you want some with you in it, Robert? Do you want some with you in it?
Yeah, that'd be nice. Done nothing, it's banana skins. Recording?
Recording.
You made it. Day 2 of the trek, September the 12th, 2018. And the air is thin. Cut!
It's a shame.
Anybody want a salted peanut? 1, 2, 3!
No.
Hey, this way.
I'm gonna count, okay?
Okay.
Nice go.
1, 2, 3.
Campsite number 2. It's September 13th now, and 7 AM. Who's that waving at me?
It's hot water outside for washing.
I'm not going to return, I'm going to take my stuff now.
We should do some sun salutations. Should do some sun salutations. Just try and get my hair back in. Could you get my bubble for me? It's easy if you don't brush it, isn't it? Because then you can just catch it back where it was.
You need sometimes, you know.
To the tread with long hair.
I remember sometimes.
Always a sun dance. Every day.
Here goes Robert.
Going to bed for tension. It's happening
You know what? Yeah. Absolutely knows the moves of the Cherokee Cherokee Sundance. Okay, so what I'll do is, normally with one person in each direction, because we don't have that, I'll just run over and be the person model for each direction. So to give you a bit of background in the Cherokee Sundance, it was taught to Peggy and myself by a woman who was actually German, who spent times with the Cherokee in the reservations and was taught the Sundance. The Sundance is done in the morning around about this time, and it doesn't have to be sunny and you don't have to be outside to do this. As an exercise, it really wakes the body up and works every muscle group. The Cherokee use it as a way to connect with the 4 directions and also to honour, you know, Great Spirit, or what they would call here in Peru, Pachamama. There's also a beautiful part in it where Native Americans have a really important base of their culture, which is called a giveaway, similar to the Quechuans, where they give and then they receive. So there's a part in it where you give to your friends or your brothers and sisters, and you receive from your brothers and sisters. So there's this reciprocal energy that's weaved into their culture, so that no one ever, like us hiking yesterday, no one gets left behind. You know, the horse kept going up and down and people kept helping, no one ever gets left behind. So that same tribal aspect of not the individual self but the collective self is included in the dance. So I'll do the dance, it's probably easier, I'll not do it like an aerobic teacher where I'll go one way and you go the other. So the beginning of the dance, you start with your hands in the prayer position, and then each time your hands are in the prayer position, you just press into your sternum and just put a little bit of pressure in just at the beginning there, and that stimulates the heart. And then you're going to just lean to the left and then your right leg steps out to the right. Simultaneously, your hands circle the world, the earth, Pachamama, and then you give to the earth, receive from the earth, pulling the energy up from the earth, give to Great Spirit, receive from Spirit, and then you bend to the right, the hands open up, and then you circle the world and step to the left, give to the earth, receive from the earth, give to Spirit, receive from Spirit. So I'm just going to do that move one more time. So
Ollantaytambo, Pisa, everywhere is all European city. Do you just imagine all Cusco was like that roof in Incan times? Thatcher roof. Why they still use this material until now? Because it creates insulation. So when outside temperature is cold, inside is not. When outside temperature is 40 degrees Celsius, inside is cool. So it creates amazing microclimates inside. Unfortunately, that one doesn't last a long time. 5 years max. After 5 years, in the wet season, it starts leaking. My father used to go to the mountain every 5 years to take in more grass, to put more layers, to keep waterproof. So this is, why is it sloping roof? Because it rains a lot here. So in the Andes, at this elevation, it rains too much. But normally, in the wet season, it's hailstone. You know, hailstone, slit rain, like snow. Wow, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
The 200 meter more max, and then because the Incas, they used to come this way. Or in Inca there was not that many people. Every day 200 tourists, 300 porters or 300 horses. So the activity of tourism is destroyed. This was just a clean path in Inca times. Just a single runner, messenger, transporting information, you know, from places to places. In places it was not very clear, the trail. It was just like by the grass. Can you see this line in front of you? That's a trail. It was not that much, that destruction like nowadays. In the mountain, when you have any emergency, medical emergency, what are you going to do here? In the middle of nowhere, your wife is pregnant, you're going to have a baby, what are you going to do? So in the mountains, we develop now mountain medicine. You have tooth pain, this is swelling, you don't sleep last night. This is the perfect medicine. This one. This is called Ayahuasca. You chew it. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, this is numb. Ready for dentist. It has anesthetic property. So Andean people, we chew this, you fix the problem. So Andean people, we don't have this in the guidebooks. That's why sometimes we don't know English name. When I work with biologists, English speakers, biologists, they tell me, Jill, this is the name. So I'm picking up information sometimes. I learn from you. It looks like it has glasses.
Okay.
They are omnivorous. They eat insects. They live by the bromeliads. The bromeliads, like a pineapple, they have many worms inside, like caterpillars. That's what they eat.
Low color, black color, anything.
Horses coming, guys. What one can it?
Flowers.
Oh, the flowers.
The plant very interesting, but we use just to make baskets. This one. Chikliurumai. I don't know English name. Kang kati wasang gikuchu niya panggichu. Wasang gichu. He's gonna go through. Keep you side. Here, look at this. Huh? Orchids are very, very, very tiny ones. They live here in this park. We may have more than 500 types of orchids. It's a kind of
epidendrum species. The orchids, they are how can you say, epiphyte plant. They grow on the trees, on the rocks, because they have a small part of the body like a storage of water. They survive in the dry season too. This is beautiful high Andean orchid, huh? Very good.
And you create your own kitchen. Yeah, you create your own Gandalf, or you create your own Frodo or whatever. And then they make a movie and you think, oh my lord.
I think it's a chance.
Well, me too. Once you go to the ends in Treeview, and then I saw Treeview like, this is a really
People are happy living here.
You don't take it there. Well, at least there was some smiling
think there are times when it's the right thing at the right time.
Yeah.
This is it. This is it.
Your eyes.
Sorry, it's all gone. Just a little. That doesn't look very good, does it?
This image will forever stick on you.
You guys are all going to spend a hard with us too. You're not going to admit it.
When it has to be done.
Yeah. Have you got your cable ready?
I have a cable.
Could I borrow your cable?
Yeah.
Is it on you?
20 solos.
Are we still playing that game?
We have a monopoly here.
Have you got a chicken pickery at one side? I think it would be after. Yeah. Oh, I want to.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
We'll work out a way.
Yeah.
We'll distract them while you slip through.
Exactly. They won't notice a thing.
At one point, I mean, this is going back to your personal fortune. It's estimated about 2.8 billion. Personal, not the stuff you find in the wall.
That's definitely my brother.
Oh boy.
That's alright.
Eat now, fly
Please pass down, please. Pass down.
But I'm not sure whether it's done it a bit today, Hello, are you looking for fun? You're looking for fun? You crap.
Keep going, keep going, keep going.
Okay, woo!
Yay. Get it? Nice. Wee! Good going down that in a tyre, isn't it? But I don't know, it's the other side right now. Never be seen again. It's lovely.
They will make noisy drinking bar and everything.
So how long before we leave?
Faltan agua. ¿En media hora? Sí. ¿Nos vamos?
Walkers. 100% sure it's little walkers. It's a hot spring with the looks of walkers. It's a big old rare one. It's a hot spring, but it's really huge, and it's got like changing rooms and.
I could just see as they were standing and I put it on my chest. Pick it up. First in.
And Steve, you filmed.
It's kind of like having a sauna and a swim at the same time.
Yeah, it's lovely. Also just seems to be fun after. Right, have tea. No, cut your bag. It's nicest to be.
I remember. I'm protecting this area because in the rainy season the rivers in the high deep. In 2010 we had a big problem. The end of January, that was in that time, it was raining all day, all night, during the 3 or 4 days and 4 nights. And the river was in the high deep, and then has inundated all the cities along the coast of the Seca Valley. Part of the wall was destroyed by the river. Now I'm trying to look at a nuclear wall with a big, huge stone walls. The river is a powerful company, the engineer river, that work around the worldwide during the rainy season. We can't fight against the power of the river. No, we can't control. I write that about a little story.
You're gonna be polka. I know. Okay. Oh no, Stephen. It should be down the back because the leaves sit up on the back. I love it.
Armando, remember, have you had some explanation about the discovery of Machu Picchu?
No.
Okay, we are going to follow the trail that we follow. Okay, we are going to do the trail. We follow the trail that made Mr. Hiram Bingham when he arrived in Mandor Pampa. That was the previous day of the scientist discovery of Machu Picchu. Mr. Hiram Bingham was looking for the last capital of the Incas, Vilcabamba, that's located to the northwest of Machu Picchu. Okay, and then Mr. Hiram Bingham came with an escort, with a couple of police. And then they were following the course of the Vilcanota River. He was looking for some ruins, looking for the last capital of the Incas. In the afternoon, he arrived in Mandor Pampa. In that place, he met a farmer family. His name was Melchor Arteaga. He was a trader, a farmer. And then Mr. Hiram Bingham asked to this farmer, where are the ruins? Immediately, this farmer showed him in Machu Picchu.
Wow.
That was in Machu Picchu. On the following day, that was on the July 12th of 1911, they came up stream, they crossed the river, they arrived in Machu Picchu. They saw that Machu Picchu was covered by the forest, but in that place they met two farmer families, Anacleto Alvarez and Melquiades Richarte. I am going to explain you it little by little. Okay, now we followed the railroad. We go to Mandor Pampa. Vamos, this is the cloud forest. We are at 2,000 meters above sea level. Machu Picchu means the old mountain, but we don't know what was the name of this place in the Inca times, because the last Incas didn't know about the existence of Machu Picchu, and the Spaniards never arrived to that place, because we don't have some writings or chronicles that may talk about the existence of Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu means the old mountain. Over there's Machu Picchu, and then over there's the young mountain, Huayna Picchu mountain. Huayna, young. Over there, there's the high. That's the place of Machu Picchu.
That's that one? No.
That's the Machu Picchu mountain, old mountain. Okay. There's another small hill over there. According to the opinion of my oldest master, Machu Picchu means old, Machu old. That's how we use the grains.
Oh, this one.
Harvesting.
Oh, okay.
Okay, which in my country, my farm, my mother prepared the organic roasted coffee bean. Okay, this is so delicious. Let's see right in the mortar. And then we put in the small kettles,
Yeah.
and then we put the essence too.
Oh.
So aromatic, as organic coffee. But now the coffee plantations are disappearing because it's infested by the fungus. And then the farmers don't receive the help from the Peruvian president, from the government. So sometimes the cultivated fields of coffee plants were abandoned. But now they're trying to replant another kind of coffee plant. That's the common coffee, we call it Arabic coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Café Arábigo.
Vamos.
That's not share your food. You don't share your food. You can you don't buy the food. There's a song with the person. Do you see?
You see it. If you come over here,
And then the Manajaraku. They try to avoid the erosion of the land during the rainy season. Well, that's the reason that this construction lasting for a long time, overseas, for 1,000 years ago. But in the modern society, many people don't build their terraces. They cover the earth and then they build their house. Sometimes they have problems during the rainy season. And that terraces were built by the cliffs. I told you that much protected it.
Siempre pagar a otro. ¿Y cómo se para que la luna?
Really, the people who are shot at them. Be like having camera film around and then explore it.
Because it's so central to Moya. So maybe you're having a done there. No, today? No expectations. They've got like a comfort.
Thank you, butterfly.
want to show you if you want to see what mango. The anel wall is on the hill wall. It says Yaka means the loud, the wisdom, Yaka. That's in our church. When we talk about the wisdom, that's our love. Our craft, love, and the work.
Además te saca 4 frutos.
¿Dónde está?
Are we all together? Of course.
At home, many people keep alpacas in wool, and they often put one llama in to control the alpacas.
Because they produce they produce the hybrid. The llama of alpaca. The suri. That's called another suri. That's the name of my The rainy season, the dry season. There are different kinds of animals. There are pumas, there are foxes, skunks, there are white rabbits like chinchillas, there are the coatis. There are different kinds of birds like eagles, condors, hawks, kestrels, parrots. There are hummingbirds, there are small hummingbirds, and there are big hummingbirds. Sometimes we may see on the second pass of the Inca Trail the big hummingbirds like with long tails. We call this West hummingbird in Quechua ente. Huáscar ente is the name. Machu Picchu is located in the cloud forest. We are here at 2,400 meters above sea level. Machu Picchu is protected by the natural cliffs. It's protected by the Vilcanota River. Vilcanota in Quechua, the name of that river in Quechua is Vilcamayu. Vilca, sacred, Mayu, a river, the sacred river. Okay, to the north is the mountain of Huayna Picchu mountain. Huayna Picchu means the young mountain. To the south, Machu Picchu mountain, the old mountain. To the east, I was explaining to you that the Putucusi mountain, that's looking toward the city of Machu Picchu. Putucusi, Putu is the head, the brain. Okay, Cusi is happy, the happiness. Putucusi is the happy head. Okay, to the west is the Saint Michael Mountain, San Miguel. Before of the scientist discovery, before 1894, before there was not a road through this canyon. Okay, because below Oriente Tambo appeared the narrow gorge, and then people traveled to the tropical valleys, okay, taking another road behind of those mountains. In that time, the Peruvian government gave a law to build a road along the course of the Vilcanota River, or Urubamba, and the rocks were broken with TNT, the dynamite. Little by little, the local people were getting the small land for making their farms. Okay, and then there was a farmer family that were living below of Machu Picchu. The name of this man of Austin Lizárraga was a farmer that was living with his family. Okay, and then in this dry season, probably in May, June, he began to cut the trees for making his farm. And then 2 months later, he burned the dried trees. And that the flame of the fire jumped into the forest. All that part was burned by the fire, with fire. And then on the following days, this farmer came to see about this place, and then he found a trail that was built on the cliff. He followed this ancient Inca trail, and then he found Machu Picchu. That was covered by the forest. Okay. But these people tried to keep it a secret, about the existence of Machu Picchu. But little by little, the local people began to know. And then Mr. Agustin Lizárraga organized a team of the treasure hunters. Perhaps they made some excavations. They found some gold, silver treasures, with the representation of the Andean gods. But little by little, people began to name Machu Picchu, there are the ruins. Mr. Hiram Binga was a historian teacher that was born in Honolulu, an island that belonged to the United States. He arrived in Lima. He put in contact with the political authorities. After that, he went to visit the public library. In this public library, he began to read the chronicles that have written the Spaniards at the beginning of the colonial period. He knew about the last capital of the Incas, Vilcabamba. Vilcabamba is located to the northwest of Machu Picchu. You remember when there's the last Inca Manco II has received to the Spanish like a Huiracocha god. This but the Spanish were not God. They were ambitious. They were looking for some gold and silver treasures. And this Inca Manco II declared the war against the Spanish. But he couldn't defeat the Spanish because the Spanish were expert in the wars. Because their ancestors fought during 800 years against the Muslims. And then, this last Inca escaped to Vilcabamba. In Vilcabamba, he continued attacking to the Spanish army. But he was murdered by the Spanish army. And the government continued his son, Saidi Tupac, Titu Cusi Tupac Amaru first. This last Inca was captured in the interior of the tropical valleys of Vilcabamba, and then he was carried to Cusco. In Cusco, he was killed. With this last Inca, the empire of the Incas disappeared. And then Mr. Hiram Binga read these chronicles. Then he arrived in Cusco. He put in contact with the political authority, the governor. Then this governor gave it a couple of police in order to escort him. They followed the course of the Seca Valley, the course of the Urubamba River, looking for the last capital of the Inca, looking for some ruins. In the afternoon, they arrived in Mandorpampa, that place that we visit. In that place was living a farmer family, Melchor Arteaga. He asked to this farmer, where are the ruins? Immediately, this farmer showed him in Machu Picchu, in the old mountain. On the following days, they came, Mr. Hiram Binga with his farmer, they came upstream, they crossed the river, they arrived here at 11 o'clock. And they met two farmer families. Good morning, buenos días. Anacleto Alvarez and Melquiades Richard, they were living where is the hotel. They were cultivating some terraces, some tropical products. And then these families gave him the welcome. And then they invited him some fresh water, some boiled sweet potatoes. After that, these families gave the boy. His name was Pablito Alvarez, little Paul. He was almost 12 years old. And then he led to Mr. Hiram Binga, where is the Temple of the Sun. Mr. Hiram Binga saw the important constructions buried by the forest. He made the scientist discovery that was on July 24 of 1911. It was okay. After this discovery, he continued with his journey to Vilcabamba. That's okay.
It would be amazing to get. 690.
That's lovely. It's like you're holding it in your hand. Cool.
Por algo está esta pita está para que no pase. Es decir, así yo hacer
He was pointing out like points. Yeah. Oh, thank you. What you do now? But it's the coconut really in the cellophane.
That's something else I got from our farms and pigs.
Really? We then bring the stones from long distance, like in Sacsayhuaman. The quartz are located in this area. But the rock in Machu Picchu is eroded by the effect of the time, because the rock, the granite rock has the mica, the feldspar, and the quartz. And these elements are put in contact with the rainwater, is eroded little by little. In some parts, for example, the walls are collapsing by the effect of this the erosion, like the principal temple, the walls. Okay. The good relationship. What a business. Gracias. Natural bread. Our health, in our journey. You are our important God. You represent to our Viracocha God. After that, at noon, the Inca with his court and the common citizen. This area. That's the sun rises from that direction. On 21st of June, a sunbeam comes into the altar through that window. That happened at 7 o'clock in the morning. And the summer solstice, the sun rises from that direction. Another sunbeam comes into the altar through another window. And that time there were astronomers that observed the movement of the earth around the sun. After the temples and the palaces were made with carved stones, so like the temple of the sun. Wow, before, until 30 years ago, we could do our ceremony in the temple of the sun in the evening. Yes, that was beautiful when we had the full moon. That was illuminated, especially in the dry season. Wow. The sky is clear. Mind your head, huh?
Mind your head. Just imagine Machu Picchu with no people on it.
I feel very much at home here, I must say.
Do you?
Yeah, even with it.
Intihuatana. We are going to see the astronomical observatory. That's called Intihuatana. Intihuatana is a Quechua word which means where the sun is tied up or hitting post of the sun. In that time, the astronomers observed the movement of the sun, the movement of the earth around the sun. Okay? From it, project the shadow that goes in that direction. And the summer solstice, the sunrise from that direction, that pyramid project another shadow that goes directly to the corner. Which esto vamos a tener que hacerlo en Tihuatana. The corner. I'm going to take your picture, okay? All the beautiful. All down.
This is some pouting pizza. Pouting pizza.
Yeah.
For you,
Aggie.
pictures. Twiddle your hair. Do that.
Yes. Strike a pose, Karen. Linda.
More sexy ladies.
Sexy lady.
Lana.
Yeah, make sure you get my runny nose, will you? And my
Arian.
Dee.
Great.
Thank you.
Derek.
Por aquí vamos a pasar, disculpe.
Sí, lo mismo.
And afternoon, from the 3 o'clock, there is another white animal similar like a rabbit, like a chinchilla, called the biscachos. These biscachos live in this area that close to the sloping of the mountains. The white.
Yeah. Seems like magical, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, let's move over it.
Eso son zonas de cultivo. No, pues no te caigas. Hola.
A ver, amigos, vamos a comenzar con ¿cuál es? Do you know something about Machu Picchu? ¿Saben algo de Machu Picchu? ¿Eh? ¿Nada? Nothing? Didn't you read? No puedo hacer lo que ustedes si no han leído. So, ¿sabes algo de Machu Picchu? ¿Quiénes los construyeron? Who built this? the 3 quartz crystals are where the sun rises, I suppose. And we've got 1 each out of the 5. So that's good. Selfie. Turn it round, eh?
Yeah.
3 buried quartz crystals, and we got 1 each.
They will be done.
Machu Picchu.
Yeah. Because I wonder if we could have maybe got a
Visualize it, Stephen, pressing it to your hand as you lift your legs up. Push off with it.
No, I don't feel right. I'm not going to hurt myself. Go on, no, get away with that.
Yes! Oh my god!
Is that it? Jesus. I did it all my life.
You then.
I'm not like to be filmed doing it. No, I don't want it. I'm a shy person.
Alright, then don't be filmed.
Don't be filming.
Alright.
This is a
Film it.
private moment.
It's off time.
Ready?
Is it really off?
Yeah.
I don't trust
if
cameraman.
it's-
Wait, turn the lens on.
If it's off. My snuffles.
Jamming on the gate, come on. Stephen, are we going to
Thank you guys. Thank you. Should I open it?
Does it?
Thank you guys.
So Lisa, you just want to keep going.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So we also, as a group, had something for you.
Thank you guys.
Obviously, you're going to get an honorary Sun-Door Peru hat. Yeah.